Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Destiny 2 weekly reset video. My name is Story, and today is the 20th of October, which means we're running up until the 27th of October, because that's how things go around here. Regard, we're still in the midst of Festival of the Lost, but the event is ending soon, according to a blurb that I just saw as I was logging in. So I thought I would pass on that information for you. And Stev is all the way over there. Look, but anyway, what have we got to do in Destiny 2 this week? Well, we'll have a look. If you're new to the game, welcome. Come on in and rest your bones and pull up a pew and pour yourself a brew, because this is the tower map. We stop and regard this stuff because all these little icons represent vendors, and vendors are some of your very best friends in the Destiny world because they administer challenges, bounties, quest lines, and things for you to do, basically. So if we're having a look here at spare parts, that is the weekly challenged, that are a weekly challenged. That's how I feel every day. But anyway, that is the weekly challenge administered by the Gunsmith. So that is to complete 8 bounties, and in rewards, you will have some powerful gear at tier 1. Gear comes in a variety of tiers, 1, 2, 3, and Pinnacle. Pinnacle is the highest of the juiciest beef that can be beefed. And if you don't eat meat, don't worry about it, because this beef is plant-based. Anyway, that is the stuff. And we've got more of it over at Shax here. He is the Crucible Master, and he's got another weekly 8 bounties, powerful gear, tier 1. Same with Zavala. Same with the old Drifter there, if you're into your Gambit. And while we're over here as well, we've got the Means to an End quest line. If you finish this, you will get some Pinnacle loot. That's very nice. And speaking of Pinnacle loot, you can get more of that from doing the Prophecy Dungeon, available right there. It's beautiful. So there you go. That's the tower map. We'll round up next by going to the destination screen. This is all the planets that you can visit at the moment in the game. And this is the Vanguard playlist that we start with each week. 4 items on the menu. We've got daily heroic story missions. Now, these don't give you any set rewards as such. However, you may get some in-game drops like a stray exotic engram or a legendary or something like that. But the meat and veg begins here. Vanguard strikes. Now, the challenge for the week is to complete strikes using the same subclass element as the currently active elemental burn. If you complete 3 strikes in a row or staggered throughout the whole week, whatever you want, then you'll get this challenge done and you'll get some Pinnacle loot. So if you want to know what the subclass element you should be equipping, a Void subclass this week. There you go. That says right there. And then the daily modifiers are Iron and Heavyweight if you're interested as well. Then we've got the Nightfall, the Ordeal. This week it is Savathun's Song. And there are 2 challenges. Run the Nightfall a bunch of times for some powerful gear at tier 1. And then if you want your Pinnacle loot, you're going to have to complete the Nightfall with a team score above 100,000 points. But that's not technically accurate. You can get 100,000 points on the dot, and you'll still get the challenge done. Anyway, have fun with that. Then we've got the normal Nightfall playlist, the vanilla Nightfall playlist. There's 3 strikes to choose from each week. This week we have the Insight Terminus, the Tree of Probabilities, and the Hollowed Lair. Now, each of these strikes in this playlist will have some specific loot. There are very few Nightfalls that don't have any specific loot, and you can have a slice of this specific loot if you grind and grind and grind the strike over and over again. The more you play it, the more you complete it, the more your chances will increase at getting said loot. Now, the Insight Terminus has the Long Goodbye Sniper Rifle, one of my absolute favorites. I wish it wasn't being sunsetted. Then you got the Tree of Probabilities, which has the DFA Legendary Hand Cannon. Then we've got the Hollowed Lair, which houses the coveted, the Mindbender Shotgun, one of the favorites. Now, the API is actually giving me the Scarlet Keep instead of the Hollowed Lair. So if you get Scarlet Keep instead of this, I apologize. And the Scarlet Keep doesn't have any specific loot, so it's a double whammy of poop if that's the case and this is wrong. Let's hope it's the Hollowed Lair, because Mindbender Shotgun's still a lot of fun. Anyway, happy grinding. We're moving on to the Gambit playlist right now. We've got our PvE activity up here, the Reckoning. It's got 3 different flavors, tier 1, 2, and 3. If you're interested, it's got Solar Singe for the week and Heavyweight modifier for the moment. And that is where you can grab some Season of the Drifter style equipment there. Then we've got Gambit and Gambit Prime. 2 types of Gambit there, one slightly different from another. But anyway, 3 games completed in either or of those playlists will get you some pinnacle loot. There's also private matches as well if you want to challenge folks that you know or members of the family to who can defeat the primeval first. Then we've got Crucible. This is the player versus player arena. We've got 2 types of playlist in this area as well. We've got the rotator matches, which are up the top. This week we've got momentum control and breakthrough. So those 2 modes there represent the rotator matches, and 4 games completed in these playlists will get you powerful gear at tier 1. Then we have our core playlist, which consists of Rumble, Control, Elimination, Survival, Freelance Survival, and Classic Mix. 4 games completed in those playlists will get you pinnacle gear. There's also private matches if you want to 1v1 your dad. Moving on, the Flashpoint is on Mars this week. What's a Flashpoint? Well, lots of public events will spawn on the planet, and if you partake in these public events, you will give some progress to this weekly active bar here over here at the lovely Anna Bray. Once you've made this bar all the way to the top, so it can't be topped no more, then you'll get some powerful gear at tier 1. That's beautiful. And the small amounts of progress you'll get from doing lost sectors, opening the chest and defeating the boss, for example. So there you go. The Flashpoint is on the Mars. Then we've got lots of activities to do on the moon, plenty of weekly challenges to do here. We've got our nightmare hunts, for example. Complete a nightmare hunt, run through them a couple of times, and you'll get some powerful gear at tier 1. If you complete one on master difficulty, then you'll get some pinnacle loot as well. There's 3 of those to choose from. There, speaking of pinnacle loot, you've got your Pit of Heresy dungeon to do as well for your pinnacle stuff, and the Garden of Salvation raid. I went over here towards the story mission. This story mission gets you powerful gear at tier 1, whereas the Garden of Salvation gets you pinnacle gear. There you go. Over in the Sorrow's Harbour, there is the Altars of Sorrow, which is like a horde mode style public event, and each altar will progress to a next altar, and then there'll be a final altar with a big boss. There are 3 bosses that rotate each day. One of them will drop a sniper rifle, another will drop a kinetic slug shotgun, and another will drop a rocket launcher. So there's plenty of stuff to do there. While we're on the Altars of Sorrow, if you go down to the Lectern of Enchantment, 30 nightmares defeated in the altars will get you some powerful gear at tier 1. And then Eris Morn has the Luna's Calling memory quest to complete as well for some powerful gear at tier 1. Over on the Dreaming City, we're at Dreaming City Curse level 3, week 3 it is. So if you're interested in that, head on over to Petrovenge and pick up your bounties, because the Ascendant Challenge this week is in the Harbinger's Seclude. Isn't that beautiful? Moving on then, we're going to go to our friendly Gunsmith and have a look at the bounty system for anyone that's new to the game. This will explain just a few things and how they work. We've got 2 weekly bounties, 4 daily bounties, and then an undepletable amount of additional bounties. So, the weekly bounties will award various bits and bobs. The Gunsmith's ones award XP, Glimmer, upgrade modules, and some planetary resources. Now, upgrade modules are the star of the show because they will allow you to upgrade your gear. Then with the daily bounties, you get mod components and enhancement cores, both very handy stuff. Mod components can actually be spent down here. Each day, every daily reset, these will refresh. There is an armor mod and a weapon mod. So today we have the unflinching linear fusion aim and radar tuner. There's also some material exchange that you can swap for material exchange. Now we've got our additional bounties. Now the Gunsmith's additional bounties only award Glimmer, but if we sashay on over to our lovely friend Shax down here, and he has a whole bunch of stuff. Now this pertains to Crucible, so your weekly bounties will get you some Crucible tokens, which you can spend here, and some Valor rank points, which will also eventually get you some bits and pieces and rewards. And then there's Bright Dust. That's the star of the show for these weekly bounties. And with the additional bounties, you can also grind a bit of Bright Dust. Now, this is the same for the Vanguard vendor as well as the Drifter. you can farm a bit of bright dust. The bright dust is quite handy stuff, right? Because you can spend this in the Eververse store. Now, not only are wondrous cosmetic items available for silver, which relates to real money spent, you can grind some bright dust and spend them as well. Like, for example, we have all of our special ornaments available to buy. You can buy them with your hard-earned money. We've got featured stuff here as well. We've got the ghastly durants. We've got the chains, very Jacob Marley business there. We've got the broom swept knight. I love this sparrow and I love the noise that it makes. The Jacko shell. Then we've got parting emote, sniffing a rose, and I think we just cast it aside. There we go. And then the fanged projection that goes over the top of your ghost. Look. And then nothing is wrong. One of the most famous of emotes right there. In fact, this tab down here changes every day. So if there's an emote or a bit of cosmetics that you're looking for that you missed in previous seasons, then you can visit this little tab here because it changes every day. And then there's the bright dust stuff down here as well. For example, you can pick up the Halted Oblivion, Frozen Sparrow with a frozen kitty puss there with scary pink eyes. You can buy that for bright dust. So get grinding those bounties. There's also the Peaceful Rest emote as well, where you have a sit down, buy some candles. Then there's the reanimated entrance. That is a transmat effect, so that you'll get that whenever you spawn in. And then there's the Nougat Delight shader. I haven't got that in my collection. I'm putting that in my basket right there. So now we've got an events tab. So this is where all the cosmetics that are related to Festival of the Lost. And there's a lot of them, so browse at your leisure. Then there are the seasonal items as well. There's a hell of a lot of stuff. But be aware, items may become unavailable for purchase after the season ends. Now, that is very true. Some stuff can go away and it might not come back for a very long time. So if there's anything that you've got your heart set on, pick it up before the end of the season of the Rivals. If it does come back, it will end up in here, in the archive, where there is a lot of things, but be warned, not all the things end up there. And then there is the Bright Dust section, which is specifically the Bright Dust stuff available for you to spend. So we've got the Lunar Roar this week. There it is. We've got the Aerial Shroud, Exotic Ship, very Touch of Malice themed. We've got the Associate's Mask as well. We've got the Infected Seeker, another fantastic ship right there. We've got Winchester's Ruin, Exotic Sparrow. There's a Seal of Troika shell as well. I love the triangular ghosts. I think they're really cool. And then there is the Howling Projection to go over your ghost right there, and a variety of flair. Look at all of that. Bloodmane, one of the shaders for Festival of the Lost right there. And all the transmat effects. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, wrapped up for the week of 20th of October, running up until the 27th. There we go. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic week in Destiny 2 this week. It's very close to Beyond Light. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Just a few sweet weeks away, and we'll be getting our teeth into the new stuff. But anyway, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And remember, smoke me a kipper. I'll be back for breakfast.